stream, but we are live, so welcome to the chat. Sounds like they can hear you all right, so
Oh,
perfect.
right. Let's do it.
Okay, well, let's do this. So, welcome everyone to the Coast to Coast show. This is our interview with SD Bullion. We're very excited for this tonight. Thank you all so much for showing up. Looks like we got about 49 in the chat. And we do have SD Bullion on, so we'll go ahead and we'll do the interview with them. We've got lots of questions, and then we'll go to the chat. And yeah, so let me first introduce Chase, the marketing director. Chase, how you doing?
Hey, doing great tonight. Thanks for having us.
All right, yeah, thank you so much for coming on and being patient while we get it all set up and everything. But who else do we have on?
All right, so we got quite the cast of crew tonight for everybody. Should be a pretty good show. First, we got Cole Keller. He's going to be our trading and bullion director. So anything supply chain related, I know there's a lot of questions out there around that. He's going to be our go-to on that. James Anderson is our senior market analyst and content director. He's been in the game since 2008. He's got some pretty interesting stories, I think, actually talking about premiums from 2008 back then. So market-related stuff, he'll have a lot of data on that for you guys. And then our CEO and co-founder, Tyler Wall, is also on the phone as well. I didn't know if he was going to be able to make it, as he's been pulling, I think, 18-hour days for 3 weeks straight here. So lucky to get him on the call tonight, and he'll be able to tell you everything about SD Bullion that you want to know. So like this, just say thank you. So Dragons, I know you and I reached out to you maybe 3-4 months ago. We've been
Sure.
working together. I think it's been fruitful for both of us, and just met or just kind of getting into Yankee stuff recently and loving that stuff. So happy to be here. I've been enjoying the relationship and looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Love being connected to SD Bullion. You guys are one of the best, I believe, definitely one of the largest bullion dealers in America, and I love buying stuff from you guys as well. So we actually wanted to start off with just seeing if maybe you could tell us a little bit about your company. I don't know if maybe Tyler would want to take the reins on that one, or if you could just let the chat know a little bit about SD Bullion if they're maybe not new to you guys. So
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having us on, Silver Dragon.
absolutely.
And yeah, just a little bit about SD Bullion. So it's an interesting start. I mean, we started a news website back in 2011. We had no intentions in starting to sell precious metals. We were just interested in precious metals, like to talk about precious metals. So we started a news website 2011, 2012. Had an amazing audience. I think after 7 months, we're up to over 2 million views on our website monthly, and we were having a lot of fun. But our wives were tired of us putting in all those hours in on the website. We were daytime job was we're pharmacists, so we met each other in pharmacy school, and we knew that unless we turned it into a business, the hobby wasn't going to go very long. Just getting on it, after we got out of the pharmacy up until 1 o'clock in the morning writing articles about precious metals. So at that point, we started researching how to sell precious metals and how to acquire precious metals to sell to our audience that were visiting us every day on the news website. So that was kind of our beginning, and we started really small. I mean, we started with just kind of 10 products on our website. We've never had any debt, so we pretty much just started with 10 products, worked from there, didn't have a whole lot of selection, and we've grown this, like you said, the third largest precious metal retailer in the country now with normally lots of products, but not in this market. This market is, we've never seen anything like this. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this, anything like this in, I don't know how many years. James would tell us how many years, but it hasn't been for maybe a century. I'm not sure, but this is a crazy, crazy market that we're in right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's amazing too that from where you guys started to where you are now, just the transformation. Because your guys' websites, it's amazing. It's super easy to buy stuff from you guys, and I think everyone likes the ease of use and whatnot. So Yankee, did you have you want to jump in there with the question? Or?
Well, I do want to thank all of you for joining our Coast to Coast show. This is quite the honor. I appreciate your time. And I've been getting to know your company a little bit better. Obviously, Silver Dragons has turned me on to more of what you do. I do have a question for you, Tyler. I mean, you talked about the challenge, and you talked about this unique time that we're going through. How have you been able to weather this medical storm. I'm actually not going to say the word online or else we'll get demonetized, unfortunately.
It happens.
It happens. But how is it going for your company, and how are you able to handle the staffing, the supply, the demand, and be able to ship?
Yeah, great question. And I'm going to just tell it all basically for your viewers. We appreciate their time tonight. And there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that, I'm navigating through and our team's navigating through on a regular basis. And a lot of things, a lot of people probably don't think about. And so as far as staffing, luckily for staffing, it's been a very great time to build our crew and add on talented individuals. With everybody being let go from their jobs, obviously we have to train, but we've probably increased staffing 20 to 30%, maybe more, over the last 2 weeks. And it's pretty much been employee referrals, getting people that have just let go from their jobs, bring them on board, and getting them trained up. We've gone to 24-hour shipping over the last couple of weeks. So we're shipping 24 hours a day to try to get caught up. And then there's some other areas where a lot of people on the outside may not understand or may not think about. But one of the hardest struggles has been inventory that we have at other depositories or other places that we store, and getting that inventory around, including shipping your packages. Armored freight trucks, believe it or not, are in an extreme shortage. That's one of the hardest things that we've had to been battling. First of all, the Federal Reserve is using a lot of them. So Brink's biggest client right now is Brink's biggest client is like the Federal Reserve, and because they're having to move a lot of money around the country, there's a lot of people getting withdrawals from banks and everything like that. They're using them like they never have before. The second armored trucks is people are taking delivery off the exchanges. I think you might have saw the news about the COMEX and all these different exchanges having trouble meeting all the deliveries. And that's been another big use of armored freight trucks. And then the other thing is people are sick. So there's three things that are affecting logistic-wise of armored freight trucks. And then you get into shipping, and when you 3 to 7x the demand of your products, whether that be through us or another one of our competitors, you start running into things that you never thought were going to be issues previously, such as vehicle weight limits. We've had to have multiple pickups now from our fulfillment operation daily because the weight of the trucks just can't it can't bear the weight, especially when it comes to silver. There's dollar limitations on shipping through these carriers, and then there's plane, not just trucks but planes. There's weight limits on planes, and there's less planes flying. So all these little things that you don't think, man, this is not going to happen, have been happening right now. Costs have gone much higher, whether that be staffing or like we'll probably talk about later with premiums. But there's been a lot of challenges for sure. Staffing, running 24 hours a day for the first time in company history, and then just battling logistic aspects of not just mint shutdowns, not just international, taking large refiners, large mints offline, but also even the people that are online, moving that inventory around and shipping you guys packages has never been more difficult.
And also it goes without saying, you're thinking about your own employees and how to keep them safe, keep them distant, 6 feet plus. I can imagine, I deal with manufacturing myself, I can imagine what it's like on the floor to make sure that they're safe, feel comfortable, and able to keep working such long hours.
We had to rearrange our entire fulfillment operation. We had to rearrange. I went over there to make sure operations manager was following my directions, but we literally had to get out a tape measure. We lost some shipping stations. We lost some shipping stations. We had to form other shipping stations. We had to rearrange shelving units, put shipping stations in areas that we never thought were going to put shipping stations, and receiving goes no different. We had to change a policy about a week or 2 weeks ago where we had very low minimums on buybacks, and we've been able to reverse it this week. But we had to increase our buyback threshold. Like a minimum they had to sell us 500 ounces of silver or 10 ounces of gold. Since then, we've gone down back to our normal, which is like to silver 1 ounce of gold. But we had to do that because we had to save our receiving stations to be able to ship because of the rearrangement of our operations floor. So, yeah, that's a great point. But we had to rearrange everything.
Wow, that's incredible. And I also noticed that you guys increased your buyback prices. It was like $4 over spot for an eagle the last time I checked. That's incredible.
But you can't have mine.
Right. Yeah,
I'm
there's
kidding.
not. I don't think a influx right now of buybacks. Maybe Cole could talk a little bit further, but demand right now, and everybody's pretty much holding on to what they have and mostly buying right now.
Right. Okay.
Thank you for that insight. That was really good.
So one thing that you touched on was scaling up your operation and changing of your operations and stuff. One thing that I noticed on your website was the 15-day shipping delay. Is there any thoughts to lower that, or when are things going to get back to normal? When's everything going to settle down? Is there an end in sight?
Yeah. Well, we're getting there. So we're getting there. I think probably a week and a half, you'll see a decrease in that. Right now, we're still working through some backlog, and we've now really started clicking in terms of making all those changes and going to the 24-hour shifts. And so we did have a minimum on our website. If you saw it yesterday, we had a minimum of $299 for about a week, maybe 2 weeks. We've taken that minimum off, so now people can go back to buying less than $299. We definitely understand there's people out there where $100 is a lot, or they want to do dollar cost averaging and they want to do $50 to $100 purchases, and we love those customers and we want those customers. But for the time for that short period of time, we take it off. But we are going back to there is no minimum at this point, and I think to answer your question, probably within the next 7 to 10 days, we'll be able to take that off because we will be through basically that backlog, and then also with all the new people that we brought on, they're getting really well trained. If we give them another week, we're going to be kicking out. We're going to have more capacity to ship like we never have before. So I think within about 7-10 days.
Awesome.
Very good. Very good. All right, Silver Dragon. So you going to ask the $64,000 question, or can I?
Go ahead. You ask away.
This is a question everybody's asking.
Everyone.
I think I know the answer, but I want to hear it from you. Why are premiums so high, especially on silver, especially in American Silver Eagles right now?
Yeah, great question.
Field that, not just you, Tyler.
Yeah, whoever wants to field it.
I'll step in here. This is Cole.
Yeah, Cole, go ahead. Cole, go ahead.
Yeah, so the important thing to note, you guys call it, silver premiums, especially on silver eagles, 90%, silver bars, whatever the size is. Yeah, they're high, and we recognize that, and that's something that also affects us. So supply and demand do reign supreme, and unfortunately, there's been a period of now we've been ramping up, and then we had the waves crash, so to speak, the 12th and 13th of March. Mm-hmm. And then at that point, it was a mad dash to physical silver. We saw it across the board from all kinds of customers, while people that are more seasoned in the market, probably most people in this stream, understand what premiums typically are and should be. And they say, wow, that's actually pretty high. And the supply and demand, maybe my demand doesn't match that. Well, there was 10 other customers right behind them saying, I'll not only take that, but I'll take everything else that's in this category. So it was unprecedented. It continues to be unprecedented every time we pick up the phone to purchase more inventory so that we can make it available. Premiums change, and they've only been going in one direction. So that's been, unfortunately, a difficult conversation to consistently have with customers whenever we have an established place in the market, as we offer value. And value is always subjective, and people have the choice to say, well, now silver eagles aren't as valuable as, in terms of premium, as what I'd like for them to be. And we wouldn't disagree with you, because we're having to pay more than double that we typically have to get for that same coin. So it is something that has been across the board. It has impacted everyone in the industry. You cannot pick up the phone and order the same amount of inventory because there's less inventory available. Whenever there's a mad dash for anything that's physical, if it's not nailed down, it's gone. And then you have shipments being cut off, international flights being reverted, borders being closed. What is physically available does reign supreme, and it really impacts things.
Yeah, just a point to throw in there, guys. This is James. I'm sure you guys out there know about all the shutdowns. Obviously, the U.S. Mint's been shut down, the Royal Canadian Mint, South African Mint, but it's also the major gold refineries and the miners. The Mexican mining industry shut down, Peruvian mining industry shut down. That's number 1 and 2 when it comes to silver mining. So, I mean, this is unprecedented. We never had anything like this happen in the history of modern gold bullion purchasing. I mean, even going back to world wars. I mean, we never had a situation where a lot of these major gold refineries shut down, all these mines around the world shut down. So we're in unprecedented, uncharted waters. So it's just something extraordinary.
Yep, I have no disagreement there.
I want to touch on one more point here too that I've been talking to customers about, because if you're a new customer from 2016 until 2020, this is a new thing for you. But this is not, like James said, we are in new charted waters, but this is not the first time there's been a huge gap between the paper price and actual physical supply. Right, we were in the same boat in 2015. If you were buying then, you were on 8-week delays. I remember seeing junk silver at $6 over spot. James could tell you back in 2008, I think silver was around $8, and I think they were selling it at physical for $30. So anytime there's, the paper price is falling off the cliff because the markets are getting hammered, the people are rushing into physical as a safe haven, but there's not that much there. I mean, this happens. It's supply and demand.
Right. Yeah, one point about the 2008 situation. Remember, that was forced on us because we had banks literally failing in the United States. I think 30 some odd banks that year failed in 2008. So you had people coming and running into the market with their head on fire, thinking that their currency in their bank was going to go under, right? And that the FDIC wouldn't be able to back them because, who knows what bank is going to fail next. So, I mean, literally people were just buying everything off the shelf. So there were days we didn't have silver to sell. There were days where we didn't have gold to sell. And, it lasted from September 2008, right after Labor Day. And it went all the way. I was looking at the Wayback Machine the other day, just so I didn't misquote this, but it went all the way through April of 2009. So that's an 8-month stretch. I have a personal bet with someone in this industry that this one's going to go longer because this one's even the speed in which this has happened, and then the precedent and the shock waves. I mean, you guys out there, obviously, you've probably seen the headlines about the unemployment numbers. The one that hit today was unbelievable. It was twice the size of last week, it was like a tidal wave of 10 million people now who don't have jobs, this is like the fastest that's ever happened in data collection history. So, I mean, it's just unprecedented. So, we've never been in waters like this. I thought 2008, and I kind of was like the grizzled vet walking in and a few years ago telling people, like, look out, we may have something like this. I just never thought it would be this fast, when it came about again.
Yeah. It's crazy how everything's going down, and I agree with you. This could last much longer. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a question that I actually recently made a video talking about bullion dealers and supply and stuff like that, and everyone wants to know, and this is nothing against you guys. I know you can't touch on all the bullion dealers, but are you holding back any inventory, waiting for spot price to go up, or are you just selling everything? Like, if you have it, you sell it. So, not sure who wants to field that.
Before you answer that, somebody emailed me I think it was today or last night, and said, would they take a camera and a video and walk in and show their shells and show their vault,
prove to everyone.
Prove to everyone. I'm like, whoa.
So
that's a visceral feeling right now. They got stuff.
That's what people are thinking.
Right. So this is a common misconception. I think it starts with, you go to your local coin shop and your mom and pop coin shop, and in a mom and pop coin shop, a lot of the people who are in that industry, they've probably been there since the last bull market, since like 1980. So you're talking about people who are in the coin collector business and occasionally deal in bullion too. So they have a certain inventory that they feel comfortable with that's sitting in bullion and in collectibles, et cetera. And then they probably have a cash position. And that's generally how they'll kind of hedge between the two. based on how the markets are moving, but they don't do anything sophisticated in terms of derivative hedging or FX trading or anything like that. But when you get to scale, when you have to scale up in order to deliver, and the volume that SD Bullion and our competitors are dealing in, you cannot be that simple. You have to actually have some complexity, because any type of major gyration in spot price can really hurt your books. Okay, if the price really drops to the floor, all of a sudden you can't meet payment for your employees. So, and generally in the high volume online bullion business game, the key is turning over of your inventory. You don't want to have products sitting on the shelf collecting dust. You would like to offload those and sell them, because every time you sell them, you're making some profit margin, and you move on to the next product and the next product. You want turnover. You don't necessarily want things to just sit there. And so I think it's a common misconception in our industry, just in general, about price hedging, and B, about inventory. If you have hedged your inventory, then you are going to guarantee yourself a profit margin per unit. And by doing that, if the price falls $7 in a matter of days, like it did for silver, you won't be sitting there holding the bag.
Right. So
yeah, that's a great point, James. And as I said earlier, we started this. Our business started. We weren't trying to sell bullion. We believed in precious metals. We believed in the value that they held before we started this business. And so, if you're asking me that question as a business standpoint, we hedge our inventory, right? We hedge our inventory. So we're not playing a bet on the spot price or the physical market. If you ask me personally, do I hold some inventory on the side? Yeah, I hold the inventory on the side in the depository, because I believe in the precious metal market. I believe in the value they hold, and I think if any excess dollars I have, I'd be buying precious metals personally. That's what I personally would do. But that's separate from how we handle business inventory operations. That's this like as James says, we have to hedge it. It's much different than a local coin shop.
Perfect.
Very interesting. Good. Thank you. Appreciate that.
So Yankee,
where do you see the greatest demand right now with your inventory? Gold, silver, what type of silver? Where's the big orders coming at?
Yeah, so right now, anything that's available being released from the U.S. Mint, and they, of course, had rumors being shut down, and those kind of walked back earlier this week. Silver Eagles remain very popular, be it 2019 random dates or 2020. You look from figures from the U.S. Mint, they sold 650,000 ounces of Silver Eagles in February this year. In March of this year, they sold 5.4 million, just under 5.5 million. So that shows you what that demand looks like across the board. So Silver Eagles have been popular. Anything secondary silver was immediately scooped up. There is no real secondary silver 1 ounce bars or 10 ounce bars or anything around. Anything that we're sending out through those SKUs, to be honest, is probably new quality stuff. We're just putting it in those SKUs to keep orders out the door. So there's just not a tremendous amount of secondary kind of beat up bars or anything, because people are holding on to what they have. So those things all went very quickly. Any sort of cheap sovereign coin or anything, some more affordable ones from a premium perspective, so Maples and Britannias, those things were spoken for rather quickly, and demand was very high on that. And as it relates to everything else, whatever is physical and live on the shelf, gold bars, 1 ounce gold bars, we've seen a tremendous amount of volume for that. Gold Eagles, gold Buffaloes, those things you can count on because the supply is domestic. And then everything else is a little less dependable. You really have to make sure it's there and you can see it and the truck's getting to you before you can actually release it. So I'd say Silver Eagles, Gold Eagles, Gold Buffaloes, Gold Bars, and then 90% have really seen the biggest surge in demand. But to pretend that it's restricted to just a couple items would be a misnomer. It's across the board. Everything is being spoken for. We list something and it's pretty much gone within hours.
I like what you said earlier, Cole. I thought it was perfect. If it's not nailed down at this point, it's going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm not surprised, because all my local coin shops that I've been to, I just went to 3 of them today. They had nothing, so people are buying everything they can.
Yeah, I mean, and one point about the coin shop. I mean, if you were ever to hide your inventory, I mean, think if you're a coin shop and you had bought, let's say, $19, $18, $17 spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the spot falls to the floor at 12. You got people showing up to buy. If you can't sell the products at like above what you got them at, it'll be very difficult to take that loss, right? Think about it as far as a business person. How are you going to replace that inventory? The mints are shut. There's virtually no one coming in to sell the stuff. So that I can get why people think that that's what goes on in the industry. But it just on a higher level, we could never operate in that fashion. You could never have 50 employees doing something like that. It just would not work.
Right. Yeah, it makes much more sense to just raise the premiums to where you're not losing money and continue on with business. I mean, that's how I would do it.
Yeah.
So, okay, well,
market capitalism.
absolutely. So, one of your all slogans, Silver Doctors, is lowest price period, and I love that. That's awesome. And so, I begs the question: what does lowest price period actually mean? Will you match other dealers' prices and things of that nature?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Where that came from originally was when we had that news website, we made a decision early on that we were not going to just beg people to buy from us just because they wanted to support our news website or they wanted to be nice to us or because they knew us. We said, there's a couple different places. There wasn't a lot back then, but there's a couple different places they could buy the same products from. We said, you know what, we're gonna beat our competitors with price and service. So for us, it was like, hey, what's going to make us best? And it was like the Amazon model of not necessarily racking up the debt. We're debt free, not like Amazon. However, we said we're going to compete with people on price. We didn't see a reason why people were charging as much as they were over spot at that point. And we said, okay, we can acquire it for X. Let's mark it up a little bit. Let's let people stack more ounces with their money than they have been able to previously with everybody else out there. So we do have a price match program as it relates to the lowest price period. We had to look at that policy here over the last couple of weeks because there's not all dealers are created equal. Nor at some points of the time you don't have to worry about shortages or whatever going on in the market, but there's different delay times on different retailers out there. So it's like, hey, can you please match this price when another retailer is delayed out like 6 or 8 weeks or 10 weeks into the future? And that's become a very difficult decision internally. And we're still talking about that, how that's going to work in that environment. But in a normal, over the last 8 years, the lowest price period's always met. We'll match, any of our, I listed like 10 or 20 different competitors out there, and most of the time that's not even a question because most of the time our published price is already lower, so we don't have to pick up the phone or nobody has to even have to ask. They can, they can just purchase online because we already are the lowest price.
Yeah, well, that's great, and stacking more ounces, that's a win for everyone. So.
Well, gentlemen, we've got 186 people listening in right now. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Thank you so much for listening to SD Bullion. We've got Chase Turner, Cole Keller, James Anderson, and Tyler Wall, the CEO. Very glad to have all of them on here. Gentlemen, we've got, like I said, 186 precious metals lovers out there. There's all different kinds, right? There's those that just want the shine, want the beauty, just want to, admire it. Some that are looking to flip this stuff. Others like myself, I'm a prepper. I like to prepper stack. What type of precious metals buyers are you targeting?
Yeah, great question. I can take that. We're typically targeting the people that are knowledgeable about the industry, the precious metals, and typically targeting the people that are trying to acquire the most amount of ounces for their money. That's always been our foundation of how we built the company. So maybe in the early days, maybe it wasn't maybe we weren't the best digital marketing individuals in the world. Maybe we weren't the best anything that relates to e-commerce. But we always said, hey, we're going to let word of mouth, let our customer service experience, let our prices, speak to everyone. And so if you buy from us, that you can trust us. You buy it for in a normal time $230, $240, whatever it is over spot, and then you tell your friend like, hey, if you want to buy precious metals, the best price is through SD Bullion. Why don't you go purchase Silver Eagles over there? So we have always been, our core has always been bullion. Our core has always been more ounces for your money. So those are the people that understand the market. We like all customers. We like new customers. We like educating new customers. We loved it. I loved, back in the day, hearing our customer service or sales team talk to the new customers and educate them, what a silver eagle was or what a silver round was and the differences between the two. Those are awesome questions. As we've expanded, we've got into some of the collectible items that people like to collect and some of the graded items, but our core has always been bullion.
Nice. One thing that I put in the chat, I said for stackers, by stackers. So mainly targeting the stackers is what it seems like, not really the numismatic people. I mean, obviously you have some stuff on your website, but just the people that want to get it cheap and stack as much as they can. I think that's awesome. So, okay. And here's the thing that I'm sure a lot of people are wondering. We've seen a lot of numbers thrown out there. People have said, oh, it's a 300% surge in demand or whatever. But if you could just sort of pinpoint how many more orders you've seen in the past few weeks compared to normal, and do you think it's slowing down?
Yeah, so I know our competitors are going to be listening out there, and I'm not going to give them too much information with how they're matching us, even though we know they're...
Just generally speaking, though.
Generally speaking, though, it's been somewhere between a 3 to 7x increase this last month compared to a standard flat line. Now, that demand increased starting in February this year. So in February, that was a really, really strong month. I think that might have been the second strongest month in company history, but then followed by March, which was by far the strongest month in company history by multifold. Order count's been off. Has been incredible. Like it's like we outlined in the beginning of the call. One of the hardest things, like I said, I was a pharmacist, and in pharmacy you did have seasonal demand. You had days of the week that you had more prescriptions you need to fill. The hardest thing about precious metal industry is that you have no idea when your demand's gonna hit, and when it does hit, like it has over the last month, which is we've never seen that kind of demand hit before. How are you going to handle a business that's just tripled to 7x overnight? How are you going to do that? I mean, that's that it's just you can't carry that amount of staff that handle that possibility that it happens. Nobody possibly can. So I think we've done a really good job. We've obviously been really stressing out the team, working longer hours, hiring people. But back to your question, I hope I can answer that the best in general without giving too much information. It's been 3 to 7x. We've had multiple record days that I never thought I'd see those numbers, and the demand has lasted for about 2 months. Your final question there, has it lessened a little bit? And the answer there is yes, it has weakened a little bit over the last week. I think related to the stock market maybe a little leveling out a little bit, and then also the bounce from precious metals off their lows. We'll see if they hold, but there has been a bounce, and so those two variables, I think, are the strongest reasons why we've seen a little bit of decrease, but it's still well above normal, and the demand that we have right now is, I can't imagine that the supply situation will get better anytime soon, based off some of the things we've already talked about, and also mints and refiners being shut down, and who knows when they're going to reopen.
Right.
That's great. Wow. Thank you. I don't know if I'm the oldest one on this stream.
I'm just going to assume you are. I'm going to assume you are, Yankee.
You assume that, right? I'm 50. I'll be 54 this month. So I've gone through quite a few recessions. I've seen .com, 2008. I've watched this. And Cole, you sound like you really have a good take on what's happening with the markets, what's happening with our Federal Reserve. I'd love to hear more about what you think this means for our economy, for inflation, for interest rates, for the dollar, especially with what the Fed just did with backing up repo markets all around the world now, buying up treasuries. What does that mean for our economy, and what eventually does that mean for precious metals?
Sure, and so I'll answer this to the best of my ability. Full disclosure, James, who's with us, this is definitely more of his specialty, but I'll provide my brief 2 cents and turn it over to him. But the part that is tough to grapple with is you think that this really sets up really well for a long-term bull run on a personal level. because you cannot continue to have Q1, Q2, QE, everything. You just 5.3 trillion on the Federal Reserve balance sheet. Jobless claims doubled from week over week. We're going to see there be a long run of a lot of companies really struggle with basic earnings. Q2 won't be any better than Q1. Q1 was bad, so the market's kind of bounced back a little bit. Q2 is going to be worse, and I don't think we're going to see the end. I think the measured approach from most governments has been, let's slowly kick this can in terms of having people execute social distancing, stuff like that, and not tell them it's actually going to be just 5 months so people don't panic. So as you see earnings continue to just get crushed, well, we saw last year a record number of IPOs that had negative earnings. So initial public offerings from companies going out, issuing stock, selling that stock, negative earnings. They weren't even positive yet. So a record number, that shows how leveraged everything has been and continues to be. And the house of cards just continues to get a little bit higher and a little bit higher. And everyone looks around, and anyone that's in finance would tell you, no, don't look over here. In no way does it compare to 2008. I think a lot of us have our own opinion and say, no, we disagree strongly. And the market, as it relates to precious metals, generally set up to capitalize on that whenever you're looking at a strong shaking of the core of the confidence of the dollar. As other foreign currencies fail or struggle, then of course you see the dollar look a little bit more attractive. But that's a short-term measure. With that, I'll mute myself. Go ahead.
All right, James,
Yeah,
you're up.
I'll jump in here. There's a guy who I've written about in the SD Bullion blog for a long time because I think he kind of understood it, where we were headed, building this fiat currency deck of cards that we have. His name is John Exeter, and John Exeter, he was a former Federal Reserve board member, and he grew up in the 1920s and watched his father lose his entire life savings trading bonds in Chicago in the late 1920s. And that probably happened in his formative years. I'm guessing in his teens or something. And so young John Exeter had to more or less set out to try and figure out, well, what the hell did the Great Depression happen? And eventually he went and studied and eventually got on the Federal Reserve Board by the 1950s. He was actually the head of the New York Federal Reserve's gold and silver operation, which basically was shooting gold out precipitously for about 10, 20 years as we tried to prop the price of gold at $35 an ounce. And he was the head of that. He was literally watching about 10,000 tons of gold go out the door as the United States was spending more than we were saving. And foreigners were not happy keeping the Federal Reserve notes or the dollars. They essentially said, no, just give us the gold. And so we had all this gold going offshore that we had stockpiled after World War II. And after World War II, we had over 20,000 tons of gold because we had confiscated about 10,000 tons. And we also had a huge amount that we built up from selling people war machines. And so we lost more than half of our gold hoard after World War II, trying to suppress the price of gold. And when the London gold pool fell apart in 1968, John Exeter more or less went into private life, and he did a lot of work in investing in gold and talking about where this was going to go. Just for people who are out there interested, I would suggest you read about John Exeter. Just Google John Exeter bullion, and you'll find an upside down pyramid. And that essentially shows you what happens in the financial world when everybody starts asking for their money back. And that's more than likely where we're headed, because the unemployment numbers are astronomical. They look like tidal waves. What's next? The next phase is the bankruptcy phase. The next phase is, that company down the street, they're out of business. Oh, that corporation, they didn't get a loan. They're out of business. That bond failed. I want my money back. And no, I want my money back. And so it just keeps getting worse and worse. And in that situation, typically you keep going down until you get to the safest asset class. And for John Exeter, the safest asset class is gold bullion. And for central banks, it's gold bullion. And that's because, and why, they own about a fifth of all the physical gold that's ever been mined by human beings. They own gold because they know when things go really wrong, gold bullion is the thing you pull out to get confidence back in the next system you're going to set up. So, I mean, that's essentially what we're looking at. We're looking at a Great Depression, and John Exeter was there last time, and his words and his thoughts and what he had to say, I think still apply today. And gold bullion is certainly showing strength right now. And, I think we generally out here, people who are buying silver and gold bullion, think that gold is going to probably do best to start, and then eventually silver will probably tighten up as investment demand kicks in for silver too. Go ahead.
Gold, yeah. I was just gonna just second that, saying that gold is a tier 1 asset now. It passed through last year in 2019. It is a zero risk asset. It is seen by central banks all around the world as true wealth, true money, and that's huge.
Yeah, you can sit on your bank books. It's just as good as AAA debt, sovereign debt, or as good as physical cash notes, or any other major fiat currency that's held in reserves.
All right, so I think we've gone through most of the questions we had planned. I'll ask one more, and then we don't want to keep you guys all night. I know it's getting late, but we might go to the chat for a few questions. But if anyone would want to take a shot at this, do you have any spot price predictions? We like to ask everyone that comes on, and any prediction on the gold to silver ratio. Do you think it'll tighten or not?
So I can
by the way,
I can throw out the last time we had a situation like this was fall 2008 into spring 2009. The stock market didn't bottom until March 2009, and the QE programs pretty much kicked off around that time. The QE programs that we're starting now, or whatever you want to call these programs, and these are much larger. I think this past week, the amount that they've issued is larger than QE2, and QE2 took months, and they did this in just a day or two. It's the 6.2 trillion. So what they're going to be doing here is they're going to be doing much larger programs because the debt and the black hole essentially is much larger this time. And last time, silver went from $9 to roughly $50. So it's a 5x. And gold went from 700 to almost 1900, just over 1900. So that's almost a 3x. But that's the spot price in fiat Federal Reserve notes. I don't necessarily believe that everybody out there is looking to buy precious metals to then later sell it for more fiat Federal Reserve notes. I think a lot of people are holding the gold and the silver to get to the next, whatever the next system may be, or maybe they're going to pass it on to their children or whatnot, or maybe use it to buy things outright. I mean, I think we don't know what the future's holding, but I think a lot of people are confident that the fiat Fed note is going to be losing a lot of purchasing power. If not, maybe not in the next year or two, maybe it strengthens in the next year or two versus other fiat currencies. But ultimately, we've made more promises than we can ever keep. And the only way to actually deliver on that is to debase the currency. And so it's either debase the currency or just flat out default. I think we'll probably see a lot of both.
And James, don't you think that why it seemed to be so successful last time is because the Fed had convinced us that they could unravel it, they could clear it off their sheet, they could normalize rates? We don't believe that anymore, do we?
No, I think we've already seen that they're full of it. I mean, they tried to roll off I don't know what it was. It was like $750 billion, and the stock market freaked out at the end of September. Remember 2018, we were going into a recession, and then Mnuchin, called up all his bank buddies, and they did some market rig job, and it did really good. For stock market did great in 2019 thanks to Mnuchin. But I mean, now it's something much darker, something much more nefarious is happening here. I mean, they literally have written in the law that the Congress just signed and went away for a three-week vacation. They signed a law that basically says the Federal Reserve and the President of the United States and the U.S. Treasury are now essentially one, and they're going to use the Exchange Stabilization Fund to run around and to use $4 trillion of bailout money to prop up whatever they so choose. And by the way, you have no discretion over what they're doing, and you have no insight. And don't even try the Freedom of Information Act, because that'll get repealed. The Sunshine Act has been repealed until the end of this year, or this emergency has been officially declared off. So it's no joke. This is a couple of years from now, people are going to look back and say, this is the worst. This is way worse than 2008. This is one of the most brazen attacks on just regular business people in the United States. It's really, really dark.
All right, so I take it we're predicting higher spot prices in the future.
Well, it may look, that's fine. If you look out in the future, you have to devalue the fiat Fed note essentially like you did in the 30s. You have to knock it down 70-80%. I don't know how that's going to come, but you would imagine that precious metals, not only have they been lying about inflation for the last 2-3 decades, compounding, but the future inflation that's coming, I don't understand the psychological threshold they think they're going to test.
And those of you who lived in the 70s know what stagflation was too.
Yeah,
that is what I think is a good possibility as well. Really a big problem.
So it's rough times. It's definitely unprecedented what we're about to go through, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
nobody's going to
real quick.
yeah, go ahead.
The marketer needs to jump in here. You guys asked about gold to silver ratio. If you visit youtube.com/SD Bullion, James just put out a whole video about the gold to silver ratio that I think will be a benefit of watching.
Okay, so we'll all have to watch that after the stream.
And I also put the link to your website around John Exer's pyramid. I threw that into the chat for people to see. It's very enlightening. Thank you for that.
Sure thing.
Okay, so great. Well, that was awesome, and I think we're gonna turn it over to the chat for a few questions. Unless anyone has anything they want to add before we do that, anything we missed.
A lot of questions out there.
So, Tyler, Cole, and anything you want to add, or should we jump to the chat?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Okay. Well, let's see. Yankee, do you want to pick one? If people want to start asking their questions, we apologize if we can't get to them all, but we'll try and field a couple before we have to settle down here. So
definitely. I see a few in here. Question from Stephen C. What do you think your biggest source of income will be in a year from product categories like silver rounds, silver bars, gold rounds, gold bars? Biggest source.
Yeah, generally, I'll speak up here. Generally speaking, the core products, the 80-20 rule really does apply here. So, of course, you generate more than 80% of your revenue by fewer than 20% of SKUs. So the revenue is pretty concentrated. So silver eagles, silver bars, stuff like that really does always command a strong place. But the number one thing always is and always will be probably American Gold Eagles. So they, from a revenue perspective, of course, with gold at $1,600, people buying 20 of those, it takes a lot of silver eagles to make up for that. So gold eagles, gold buffs, gold bars, they will take up a ton of revenue, and of course, ounce perspective, silver will dominate and drive most of the unit sales and orders.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. So if you have any questions for SD Bullion, feel free to put them in the chat here. And John W is asking one, but I think this is pretty easy for them to find out. What's your buyback on random date Gold Eagles and Krugerrands, plus or minus from spot? Is that something they can find off your website somewhere?
Yeah, that is something they can call and ask for a quote. They can find on the website. Those are premium indications that are subject to supply and demand. We may, for example, have a ton of silver eagles or gold eagles we just bought back. Those aren't really the best examples because those are extremely liquid and we always want them. But generally speaking, you call in, say I have 20 gold eagles, and we'll give you a quote. And it's case by case. If we've worked with you before and everything like that, then we'll take care of you. If you're a new customer, then we try to get you in the door and make sure you understand our process, things like that. But yeah, the premiums are certainly above spot, well above spot right now whenever we're buying stuff back. So you see we're buying back silver eagles at $3.50, $4, $4.50, kind of give or take what our inventory position looks like and what we can take on.
Wow.
Silver Heist asked a question to James Anderson. He targeted to, is West Point closed?
Yeah, I was trying to type to him. I made a video about that this week. It's definitely closed. They sent an email correspondence out to dealers earlier this week, and it was on Monday actually, essentially citing that one of their police officers got coronavirus, which is hopefully that guy ends up okay and he recovers. But that was just to be expected. I mean, the Royal Canadian Mint, they shut down before anybody officially got sick at their mint. So it was you could see the East Coast, New York was getting hammered by this. It was just a matter of time. West Point's not that far from New York City. And so, yeah, they canceled for 2 weeks, and they're basically trying to clear up the facility. You have to know that West Point is essentially where almost 90% of the bullion gets made there typically. I think for a few years they did a little bit out of San Francisco, but the vast majority of all the gold bullion that the U.S. Mint strikes is out of West Point. So 2 weeks, but everybody knows when it comes to this crisis, 2 weeks turns into 2 months. So my expectation is it'll be 2 months bare minimum. You know, you're talking about to the end of this month and into next, and then maybe by June they'll come back online and start pumping out coins, and maybe by the summer we'll start to see some actual inventory come through. One other side point about this, I was looking at the data today from Perth Mint, the amount of kangaroo sales that they have going on in Australia. I was flat out impressed by the amount of gold kangaroos that are being bought in Australia right now. It appears that they're foreshadowing essentially the demand that I foresee coming here in the coming years. Once we get beyond $2,000 an ounce gold, I think gold in Australia right now is at 2,600 per ounce, which is well above their old high from 2011. And, you know, Australian dollar has been getting hammered recently. So people are running out of that currency and into gold. The silver, which is most interesting, is that, you know, the silver looks like still really good value. The price for silver in Australia in terms of spot is well off its 2011 high. And looks like they're not buying as much in terms of silver kangaroos as they are in terms of gold kangaroos. So it's just a little bit of a foreshadowing, and I think in what's coming down the pike. The question when it comes to U.S. Mint now is they changed the law in 2010. It used to be that U.S. Mint was by law supposed to supply enough silver and gold eagles that the public was demanding, and they changed then the Dodd-Frank Act in 2010 to make it now it's now deemed by fiat the head of the U.S. Treasury can say what's sufficient, and that means that Steve Mnuchin can essentially say, you know, are there enough silver eagles, are there enough gold eagles for everybody out here? And so, you know, remains to be seen if the U.S. Mint can get back to their former high days, 2010, 2015, when they were cranking out like 40 million silver eagles per year, or, you know, we'll see. I don't know. I have my doubts.
Silver Train asked a question. Do you think the 2020 ASCs will have a lower mintage compared to previous years? Do you think that'll be the case?
Yeah, I mean, they had 5.5 million sold this past month. You know, when they come back on, I bet they will outdo the, you know, because everybody's been watching 2016, 17, 18, 19. They were not good years because you had a lot of secondary silver eagles being sold, a lot of weak hands coming back and selling them into the bullion industry, and that compressed premiums. People have, you know, got used to this idea of getting silver eagles for like a quarter over their U.S. Mint price, which is not normal in our industry. That is, you know, you'd only get to see that, you know, when I first started in this industry, like a couple summers where it got really slow, you'd see premiums get that thin. But the premiums got super thin in this industry the last 3, 4, 5 years. And that's what's exacerbated, to be quite frank, the situation we're in now. You had all these refiners go bankrupt, consolidation of dealers, and just a lack of demand of new product. And then all of a sudden, 10x demand of new product. And so, you know, what's going to happen is you're just not going to meet that demand. And so what happens next? Well, you're going to have a price dislocation between, you know, the products that are ready to be sold versus products that aren't coming to replenish them.
Right. Sort of to switch gears here a little bit, but Glenn Cox is actually asking a question that I'm sure a lot of people are wondering. Would SD Bullion trade silver for gold? And I think where he's going with this is a lot of people are looking at the GSR and saying, okay, if this tightens back to like 50 or something, and I want to trade my silver eagles for gold eagles, and I pick up the phone and call you guys, is that something you would be able to make happen? Or is that something, would you have to take delivery of the silver and then I just buy a gold eagle from you, or how would it work?
Yeah, we've been asked that, and as a precious metal stacker myself, I really wish I could do that, but we have way too much on the line. We've been a large bullion dealer, and we have been told by our basically the accounting firm that represents us that we have to settle in dollars before we're allowed to put it back into other metal. Right now, that's our stance, and you can bet that I will continue to push that and try to get it changed. And if there is some wiggle room that I feel comfortable standing on and feeling okay that if some lawyer comes knock on the door that we can stand on, we will do that. But as it stands right now, we have to settle in fiat dollars before we actually apply it to another trade.
So is this mostly,
unfortunately,
is this sort of like an IRS thing where if I send you like over $10,000, you know, worth of eagles or something, you got to cut me a check and then I buy gold from you?
Right. So it's not a reporting issue. It's more of more of an accounting related matter as how people would declare a capital gain versus not a capital gain. I believe on their, and again, I'm not an accounting expert either. Everybody should talk to their own accountants. But as it stands, when it comes to SD Bullion, if you gave us gold or gave us silver, unfortunately right now they have to sit on fiat dollars before you use it against a purchase.
All right.
Well, I got a good one I think maybe for Chase. Blue Collar Stacker asks, will we ever see a Tiger King round made by SD Bullion?
I actually
Tiger King, Netflix, right?
Yeah, I didn't catch his joke. I thought he just said tiger, and I responded, we do have a pretty popular roaring lion, which we do. That is a series that we release every year. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but it's a very popular series. We released that with the Tree of Life. Pretty cool. They each have a truth engraved on them. One coin has one truth, the other coin has the other half of the truth, so you can have to buy both of them each year to have the full truth. And we just changed the design for the first time this year in the series of the lion, and it's really beautiful. And those sell out pretty quickly. We also make a 5-ounce version of those, high relief, that the Sunshine Mint strikes. That, I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, they go pretty quick once we go online, but we do have a lion. We don't have a Tiger King, no.
You got to go to Comsco to get the Korean tiger.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think we'll be going down that path anytime soon. I've seen a question I'd like to bring up. I've seen asked a few different ways. I kind of like to get our own panels. I have my own opinions. I think I'd like to hear our panel, though. So the one I'm reading is from Fiat Destroyer, but it's been asked a few different ways the same way, which his question is, if the silver spot stays below $16 for the rest of the year, could we expect to see lower premiums eventually, as long as the supply chain isn't reinstated? There's also been people saying if silver goes up, are we going to see the same issue? So, or is premiums going to leave? And so I think I think we got to be clear on this premium issue. It's not necessarily tied to the paper price. It's tied to the supply and demand of the physical itself. So it doesn't matter if, the market, if the paper price goes up or down. If there's a constriction on the supply, you're going to see high premiums. When there's not a constriction on supply, you're not going to see those high premiums. So just to make clear that there's not a connection between the price and the premium, the paper price and the premium. It's about the supply and demand of the physical. Am I saying that right? Are people understanding that?
Yeah, Chase, I think so. And look, it'll also fluctuate the discrepancy. Like if you look back at the 2008 chart that I always publish with American Silver Eagle premiums, they peaked at like 80% over spot. Whereas, but then they were fluctuating at like 40, 50%. I mean, essentially at these spot prices, I define a silver shortage as a Silver Eagle 30% over spot. I mean, that's a pretty high mark. You're talking about $4 for Silver Eagle, $5. When you start getting in those prices per ounce over spot, that's a pretty big divergence. And the 2008 shortage, that scenario, like I said, it lasted 8 months. And that wasn't with like shutting down of the supply chain or the mines or refiners. So, tough to say like if the spot price essentially is going to run up, what that may do. That's hard to say, but I think you're dead on or correct. It's really a question of supply and demand and the physical products that customers want to buy.
Although Chase, did you see Eric's question? He's really pushing you there.
No, what is it?
I did, and I would like to speak to it. He said if the sell price is based off supply and demand, then buyback based off spot and not supply and demand. We said earlier that we're buying back gold and Silver Eagles for well above spot. So that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's based off supply and demand. Demand's higher, we're paying more to get it.
Right. Yeah, and I think that makes sense too. And also you mentioned that your buyback on Eagles has changed. It was $3.50, $4 over spot here and there. So more or less off supply and demand, which I think is what you're getting at.
Yeah, we're also willing to pay more for the inventory as well. I mean, we have to at this point, right? On the premium basis.
Right.
I'll put it this way, as a real world analogy, whenever we saw what was happening a couple weeks ago, you had dealers and coin shops, various entities across the industry, both large and small, calling up whoever they could get on the phone, saying, I will take as many Silver Eagles as I can get from you. I don't care what rate you charge me in terms of premium. I don't care how long it takes for you to ship it to me. And they'd be told, well, this will be 8 weeks out. And they said, I don't care, take my money. So whenever you see premiums on Silver Eagles go up, understand that the demand that those smaller entities and larger entities, all the entities across the board, us included, are seeing drives the price being risen up in like a hysteria fashion. And it really is an overnight thing. They more than double within the span of a couple of days. But whenever you have people that are in the industry, that are in the business of buying and selling physical precious metals, telling people that supply them, hey, I don't care what it costs me. I don't care when you're going to give it to me. Just take my money. You see these types of behavior in premium.
Sure. I think maybe we'll just take a couple more and then see if the panel has any remarks they want to give before we close down here, because I know we just hit over an hour, I think, on the stream. But one quick one here from Durbanowski. Why don't you ship to Canada? Is that something you've done in the past, or is there any issues with shipping to Canada?
We were actually shipping to Canada as of a week ago. We were actually shipping to I believe it was 20 or 30 different countries outside the United States. Unfortunately, we were running into issues with customs. Right now, the U.S.-Canada customs, for example, normally stuff clears through customs in a day, and now it's taking a week and a half to clear through customs. So as it relates to whether that be insurance or risk, we've had to make the decision just to cut it off temporarily until we see things sort of basically normalized to some extent before we start taking on the risk to ship to other countries. You got to remember, one of the ways we keep our premiums low is understanding the risk element of shipping international. Yes, it's fully insured. Yes, we have insurance on it. But if we have a large amount of claims, that's going to increase our insurance rates. So when international bullion becomes way more risky, like we're seeing right now, we're not charging more for those customers as it relates to the bullion prices we have on our website. So the element right now for risk is extremely high, and when you have those delays through customs, we said, hey, temporarily we're going to cut off shipping internationally, make sure we take care of our U.S. based business, and I imagine that's going to change in a couple months whenever this levels out.
Right, and I was just going to say, Glenn Cox, they lowered the $299 minimum. You guys have no minimum, correct, right now? Purchase?
That's correct.
Okay.
No minimum right now.
Okay. Any other questions you see out there, Yankee, or does anyone have anything they want to add before we kind of get sort of shutting her down here?
I don't see any. I mean, I'm sorry. Coin and Silver Journey what are your opinions on platinum?
There we go.
Oh, James, you like that one?
Yeah, sure. So I made I make a video typically on our SD Bullion channel, or one or two a week typically, and just a few weeks ago I made one on platinum. And platinum in terms of the long term, I think is a really good precious metal. It's not a monetary precious metal, but it's extremely rare, and there's a lot of things about platinum that are interesting in terms of future potential uses. You're talking about fuel cell cars, and just Asian demand in general for jewelry, for platinum. I mean, pretty much everybody on this call knows that platinum is rarer than gold in terms of in physical reality. There's just a lot less of it, and it's extremely dense and heavy, so it's really good for jewelry. It doesn't oxidize. So my expectation is that Asian elites, you're always going to want platinum jewelry. That's never going to stop. So that's a good driver for demand. The fuel cell aspect is interesting. The fact of the properties about platinum are pretty interesting too. I mean, I made a video which I had to go back and edit just because when I made the video, the spot price was roughly $900, and then all of a sudden we had this derivative meltdown, and spot price melted down to $700 to $650 or so. But of course, all the platinum bullion got scoffed up immediately. People, when they see platinum that cheap versus gold, they buy it hand over fist. Right now, platinum is as cheap versus gold as it's been in 120 years. Gold obviously is doing really well right now because we're probably headed into a monetary crisis, a systematic crisis. But platinum, I think on the long term, you're buying it roughly, any price under $1,000 for the long haul. I think it's no brainer. Platinum was at $2,400 in 2008. And the next commodity bull market, I imagine platinum is going to be doing very well because palladium's just gotten so expensive. you're going to have a situation where people are going to start thrifting, I would imagine, into platinum more so than palladium. So it's just it's one of the, when I look at the charts, the long-term charts, especially during the full fiat currency era, the last 50 years, silver and platinum are the most dirt cheap two of the 4 major precious metals. So any bullion that you're going to buy in terms of silver and platinum, I mean, you got to look at it as a long-term, decade plus bet. But my bet is that the commodity bull market that comes out of this starvation mode that we've been putting on crude oil and energy and precious metals and just general commodities that we eat and stuff, I think that's going to come raging back in toward the end of this decade and into the 2030s. Guys like Jim Rogers talk about this all the time. I mean, at some point there's going to be a commodity melt up, and in that commodity melt up, the 4 p.m. should do really, really well.
All right. Well, there you go. And everyone needs to watch James's video on platinum as well. Apparently we just need to go watch all your videos. Which, honestly, they should, because you've got great content.
Their YouTube link in the chat, guys.
Yeah, I'll throw it in there.
Perfect. Okay, so I guess we'll go to the panel and see if they have anything else they'd like to say to the chat before. I think we have a discount code here, but Chase, Cole, James, Tyler, anything you want to add here at the end?
No, thanks for having us on here. It's been great.
Yeah, I really enjoy your channel, and I always enjoy talking about precious metals. So for me, it's not really work here at this time of the night. It's like it's just awesome to talk about the precious metal industry. Hopefully, we get a bounce here soon, and hopefully, it keeps going for the long haul. So I know everybody wants to see the spot price go up, as do I. So for the reasons that James has pointed out, and definitely just thanks for having us on.
Yes.
Thank you. Really, quite an honor.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tyler and James and Cole. Thanks for coming on as well.
Absolutely, guys. It was a lot of fun. First time doing something like this, so let's do it again sometime.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do it again. All right, great. Well, Chase, did you want to bring up the discount offer?
Yeah, let me see if you guys can see my screen.
I was going to see if I could pin you to the screen. There we go. I think I just pinned you to the front of the screen there. So
there you go.
We'll see if we can pull it up here. And I could put it in the chat as well, though, the actual coupon code.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not seeing it on the.
Oh, you had it there, I think.
Yeah.
Let me know if you can see. You can see this.
Yep.
Review your cart.
Yeah, I do.
Perfect. Okay, so the coupon code is going to be good through Sunday at midnight. It's $5 off any order, $250 or more. The code, which you guys can put in the description of the YouTube channel if you want, or in the chat. It's just 5 off 250. It's not case sensitive, but you do need to use the number 5 and not spell out 5. But 5 off 250. Once you guys get whatever you want in your chart or in your cart, go to checkout here. Our coupon application is right here. You would click on apply discount code here. If you're on mobile, it'll be at the bottom of your screen. Put your code in here, apply it, and as long as you have more than 250 in your cart, you'll get this success code right here, which you can see here as well. So we get a lot of questions about where the coupon goes, so this is where it goes. So if you write in or call, I'm just going to tell you to watch the video. So
there you go. Great. And I wanted to say just again, thank you so much for coming on. You answered a lot of questions that a lot of people had, and that I had personally. So we really appreciate it.
Get it? Yeah. Definitely.
Appears like we might have missed part on the video. I'm not sure how to present now. Maybe I missed it. Did I miss it? Okay. Well, maybe if they call in, maybe I'll have to make a separate video then if they call in, Chase. We'll put them to that video.
Yeah, it's okay. The message is it's the coupon code is applied at the cart screen, not in checkout. You apply before you go into checkout. So I was mainly just joking, but.
Okay, great. So before you go to checkout, you got to put the coupon in. All right, so there you go. We've had a few little technical difficulties, but thank you so much for working through us with all this. We really appreciate it.
Yes,
yeah, thanks for having us. Are you guys going to stay on this stream?
We're going to actually jump off. I'm going to jump off.
You don't need this meeting.
Nope. You can go ahead and shut down the meeting, and we'll just continue on.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Be safe out there.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Be safe.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. There we go. So now Yankee just got booted because he was the only one on that. So let me call Yankee, and we will get Yankee on, and we will do the whole coast to coast thing. But we still have 169 people here, it looks like, which is great because we got some giveaways. So let me get Yankee pulled up here. And that was pretty fun, wasn't that? I had a blast doing that. Let's see if there we go. Oh, thinking about incoming call. Let's see here. Hey, Yankee, are you back on?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you loud and clear. Can the chat hear Yankee?
That's always the question.
Let's
see.
Let's go to the chat. I think they're ready for some giveaways.
I think so too. Now for the fun.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was fun though. That was exciting actually. I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, that was great. So, all right, and sounds like they can hear you great. So perfect. Everyone's saying yes. Yankee sounds amazing. Thank you all so much for coming. We do have a few giveaways from our sponsors tonight, so we can go ahead and run down those. Well, let's bring it back to the main screen here. Yankee, I see you're not showing your screen, but that's okay.
Oh, now I am, right?
There we go. Now I see your Yankee Stacking sticker there, and they're seeing all the prizes here on my screen now for the first time. So, all right. Well, we do need to shout out our sponsors because we just jumped right into the giveaway, and I know we started a few minutes late. I was having some technical difficulties here on my end, but it's rain. It's like a monsoon here right now in Oregon.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think I even heard some hail. So,
wow. Well, we got 169 in the chat. Don't go anywhere. We got giveaways. We might even squeeze in a channel showcase, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, now would be a great time to do a channel showcase because there's so many people watching.
That's a good point.
But I did want to shout out the sponsors. We have the Silver Forum is sponsoring tonight. They're actually giving away an American Silver Eagle. So I will put that right there so you guys can see. We have an American Silver Eagle courtesy of the Silver Forum. So that is awesome. We also have the Rat Stack, which is sponsoring giveaway tonight. And I think I've seen Rat Stack in the chat, but we have this awesome bar here, the Northwest Territorial Mint. And someone said, oh, is that the one from Wish.com? No, it's legit. And then lastly, Silver Beginnings with the Kennedy and the Darth Vader. So lots of fun prizes.
Really good ones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, so thank you. Massive thank you to all the sponsors. So should we just do a giveaway here real quick?
Yeah, let's do a quick one. They've been patient. And before we do all here getting ready, put a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed that interview with SD Bullion. I really want to know what they thought.
That was awesome.
I thought so too. I was really impressed. I thought there was a pause there when we asked some tough questions, but I think especially Tyler, he seemed to be willing to just say, hey, this is the story, guys. Yeah, I really appreciated that with him.
Yeah, that was awesome because I know he we were talking to SD Bullion before the stream. They were saying that he's just been working like 18-hour days for the last 3 months or something crazy.
Incredible.
So that was awesome to have him on. But,
and I think they agreed with you.
Yeah, lots of ones. Awesome. Well, thank you all for watching. So here's how the giveaway's gonna work. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see, make sure I got the chat because I started a new stream here. But I'm gonna put a question in the chat, and whoever answers it first will be the winner. Do you want to explain a little further how the giveaways work, Yankee, if they're new?
Sure, absolutely. Here are the rules. You have to have a U.S. mailing address to be eligible to win. And you must email me or Silver Dragons. Actually, you probably want to email Silver Dragons this time. If you're the winner, all winners are chosen by his chat window. Okay, not yours, his. He'll show it to us, and it's subject to review. So,
perfect.
Thanks.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and ask a question.
Mac wants toilet paper.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no.
I didn't even tell him what we're giving away.
No, you didn't.
Okay, we're gonna do Rat Stack first. Okay.
Ah, cool.
So I'm going to move this stuff aside. In fact, let me just bring up the Dragon Cam for now.
Part of the Yankee box. Rat Stack.
Rat
Hawaii.
Stack. Yes. Mahalo. Or
It's
mahalos.
still sunny over there.
So we're doing.
I'll put that out there too.
Yes. Oh, I'll show it when I show your screen here. But Yankee's got a sticker. So this is the bar we're giving away right here. 1 ounce silver bar. Thank you to Rat Stack so much for sponsoring the show tonight. Now I have the answer written on this back of the sticker here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the question in the chat. Good luck, everyone. Whoever answers first on my screen will be the winner. And I think this one might go kind of fast, so you got to read
I think
fast.
it will too. I'll try to help you, man.
All right, let's see. Who's got the fastest internet, maybe? And there we go. Let's see. Oh my goodness, it was not the first one.
No, it wasn't.
It was not. But the answer
What'd you have
was
there?
going to be tiger. And I do want to show you. We had CPOHLKAMP first.
That's what I saw too. Yep.
With tiger.
Sepol clamp? I don't know.
I don't know. You'll have to tell me how you say it, but we had you first with tiger. Brian, you were the first to type in a response, but you said lion. Of course I was going to do tiger because everyone's freaking out about Tiger King right now.
That was a great question. I think it plus I was like, wait, what? Tiger King? They don't probably have time to watch Netflix.
Right. Yeah. No one is stuck at home watching Netflix all day now.
No, of course not.
All right. So let's I'll bring this out of the way and you can show the sticker there.
Oh, nice one, Silver Heist. I like it. Oh, come on, Mac.
Some people have seen it, some people haven't. Yeah, I think once you've watched everything, if there's nothing left to watch, then you watch it. I think that's how it works. I don't know. Okay, great. Well, that was fun. Usually here on the Coast to Coast Show, we do channel shout-outs.
Shout-outs. Actually, to be more specific, I should have said creator showcases, because we really are looking for those who are content creators, people who actually post content on their channels.
That's right. So let's go ahead and pull up. You know what it is.
And for you newbies out there, this is our chance to really highlight, showcase people who are in our community. We're going to spin a fun wheel. And if you're interested in being in the Creator Showcase, our first one, put the word, what do you think? Sponsor?
Sponsor, sure. Put the word sponsor in.
Should have picked tiger. Put the word sponsor in the chat if you're.
Let's see him start. I'm gonna spin it, but we'll watch him start putting sponsor in here.
Yeah, it's going. Man, we got a lot of people
Someone
in here.
put consumer. Okay.
Wheel. What kind of wheel is it?
It's the wheel of randomness. All right, so if you guys can see, we got to number 12. I'm gonna count down here on my screen. We'll see who I get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. The Rat Stack. No way. So perfect. So perfect. Ended up with the Rat Stack. So let me get the Rat Stack pulled up here on YouTube. We should be shouting him out anyway, but he is content creator.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let me get him pulled up, and we will show off his channel a little bit. Congratulations, Rat Stack. But yes, you're a sponsor of the show, so this actually works out.
This works out great.
Okay, and let's see if you find his link too, Yankee. If you could put it in.
I've let you down, man.
Did you already do it? Well, I found it. I'm gonna put it in here.
Okay, good. No, I
Control copy, Control V, boom. Okay, I just put Rat Stack's channel in there. Let's see. We're currently sitting at. We have 341 subscribers.
Yeah, he's growing quite quickly.
Let's see. Yeah, we can go to about, see how long he's been around. Looks like May 1st.
Yeah, Rat Stack.
May 11th.
Jason, was I your first sub? I can't remember.
It was May.
I think I was one of.
I was gonna say it's May. You probably can't see it because it's cut off, but May 11th, 2006 was when he joined YouTube. So
well,
I'm gonna assume he had a different channel name, and he's probably switched it over.
He was a little bit apprehensive about doing stacking videos, but he launched into it. I think part of it was with the Yankee, not the Yankee swap, sorry,
Yankee box.
but the Yankee box,
Right,
the
this one right
boomerang
here.
box going around. He got excited about that, so he's starting to really put out some nice content.
Yeah, absolutely. He had 2 videos on the Yankee box here, but his first video was a month old. So
Okay, I don't know if I'm not seeing it on mine. Do you have it?
what do you?
Can you guys see it? Or, I didn't know if you're going to show. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there we go.
See how many. We added a few subscribers. Let's see if we can get up to 350. We're at 348. I'm gonna share it again in the stream here. So yeah, definitely support the Rat Stack. And actually, I think to enter the Yankee Box giveaway, don't you have to be subscribed to him?
Yeah, you really do.
So
You don't want to miss out on that.
who's all doing the Yankee Box giveaway? It's only up to like $8,000 worth of stuff by now.
Hey, will somebody please poke Kendall Kid? I think he's falling asleep.
Oh my goodness, Kendall Kid.
Come on,
does he
man.
know we have more Well, we're doing another giveaway right now.
Well, maybe they don't want to poke him. He'll just sleep right through the next giveaway, I guess.
Okay, well, we still have over 150, so we might as well give away some more silver.
Yes.
Because that's what we like to do on the Coast to Coast show.
We don't have to give it away because we have great sponsors.
Sing it,
Real
Yankee.
appreciate you.
No,
What?
You're not going to give it away, give it away, give it away, give it away now.
What?
He's up to 365.
Oh, my word.
One subscriber for every day of the year.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, next giveaway. Moving right along. I'm going to do the Eagle next. All right.
Sweet.
So it's going to be an American Silver Eagle. It won't be this one, but it's coming from the Silver Forum. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be an Eagle. It will be a random date.
Silver Forum, they are a premium sponsor for us. They do that every single time, right? On your channel?
Yeah. I'm not sure how many more they have.
Wow. We really appreciate them.
They've been very very sponsory, and it's great. I was looking for the word there. Very supportive. No, they're great too. And also, I should mention the Silver Forum will have a massive giveaway coming up. I think it's a 10-ounce bar or coin. It might be a 10-ounce coin, and it's free to anyone. So if you haven't joined the Silver Forum yet, it's just thesilverforum.com. I do have the link in the description, and you probably want to sign up for their free membership. You can buy and sell stuff on their website. And, of course, you can enter the free giveaway to win the 10-ounce coin that's coming up. All right. Should we get very sponsory? Okay.
I'll tell you, I'm joking is digging that Silver Dragon button.
That's not even... Don't even look at that Silver Dragon button.
I got mine right here on my camera.
Don't even look. Oh, should I... Hold on. Let me show the split screen here so they can see your camera.
Very nice.
Dude, that one has got some really good antique.
Doesn't it
finish.
though? I have to admit, I love, and I usually like it shiny, but I do love the cracks and the way it kind of filled in there. It's very nice.
It's the Dragon Fire, Yankee. It's the Dragon Fire.
Of course, I love mine too. No, but that really
I know,
is
but
nice.
there isn't any available.
I know, right? I don't have any more.
We'll have to make more here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this giveaway. So we're going to do this the exact same way, everyone. Good luck. I'm going to go ahead and ask.
This will go quick too.
This probably will go pretty quick. Let me do this. Let me put the answer is on the back of this sticker right there.
Idea.
So we know it's all legit, but good luck.
Oh, we know you're legit.
Too legit, Yankee. All
Quit right now.
Boom! I just asked the question. We'll see
There
who
we
wins.
go. Make sure you're on live chat. You can guess as many times as you want.
Yeah, of course. Always let them do unlimited guesses. And wow.
Ooh. Saw it. I saw it.
All right, Yankee saw one. I do see one as well.
Okay, good. You can all stop. All stop.
So let me show them what it was. It was
I see
Jupiter.
what I see, but it only counts on yours.
Yeah, go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Scrolling down, looking for it. Scrolling. I see right here, Michael M. Jupiter. That's who I got first.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Michael M.
Michael M. wins an eagle.
Yes.
That's a great gift from the Silver Forum.
Yes, and I forgot to mention it was you can live anywhere in the world, and they would have shipped it to you.
Oh, good point.
But know,
it's going to Michael M.
Yeah, I don't know where you live, Michael M, but you got to make sure you email me so I can get this sent out to you.
Yes, all winners, please email Silver Dragons.
Yes,
There's his email right there, silverdragons47@gmail.com.
Okay, congratulations, Michael. Let me write you in there for the Jupiter response. Perfect. All right, and I know Yankee. Do you have to work tomorrow, Yankee?
Yeah.
But you're working from home, though, right?
Every day, yes.
So I take it you're not putting on a full suit in the morning.
I put on a shirt. And pants.
That's awesome. Let's see. Harder question. Like, my middle name says Kendall Kid. We all know what your middle name is, Kendall Kid. It's Dacilly. No, I'm just kidding.
Stephen C. asked a question there.
What did he say? Oh, what's up with the red velvet? Are you going to show us, Yankee? Because it's been sitting there on your screen this whole time.
Well, dude, I've been getting a lot of hate. A lot of frustrated people in my last video thinking I have completely abandoned silver forever. I hate silver. I never want to stack another ounce of silver in my life. It's like, oh my word. It's not true. I like silver a lot, but I have been focusing on gold, and are we going to do a what's in your cart tonight, or did we run out of time?
No, let's do it. Should we do what's in your cart right now?
Yeah, put a 2 in the chat if you want us to do what's in your cart. It's our regular feature, but we are running long.
Yeah, we're only like half an hour past where we normally stop.
Kendall Kid, Yankee hashtag Yankee hates silver. Wow, that would be a great one to trend.
Look at all the twos. All right, they want to do it.
All right, cool.
By the way, what's up, Grog? Welcome to the stream.
Grog is in the stream?
Yes,
great to see you. Appreciate you, man.
All right, so what's in your cart is when we talk about what precious metals we're buying, and we want to know what precious metals you're buying right now. So go ahead and in the chat let us know, what are you picking up? What's in your cart? Silver, gold, what kind? And we're also going to go to Yankee because we're staring at this red velvet box.
Yeah, so I didn't go for this. I went to a closed local coin shop dealer, Tim, big close sign. And I filmed it. And he came out to my car and he looked at me and went, "I'm closed." And I went, "Oh, okay." And then he smiled and walked back in. That's when I pulled my mask out and my gloves, and I put it on and I went in. He had gold for me.
Oh, yeah.
I won't show the gold. Now, that's coming up on a video, but I will show this because...
Wait. You're not going to show the gold?
Nope.
Come on, dude. We saw a little flash of it.
I don't want to see that. Everyone loves silver. So anyways, he had this velvet box. I'm like, what's in the box? He's like, but you don't like silver, do you? And I looked at him and he started laughing because he does watch my channel. And I said, I do. And he says, yeah, I know. So he said, this is an interesting, this might be an ice cream cone for you though. So I had to get it. Had to get it.
What? Oh my gosh! It's Bugs Bunny.
It is. It's the Bugs Bunny 50th anniversary. I absolutely loved Bugs Bunny growing up. I still do. Merry Melodies, Looney Tunes. I would literally memorize them as a kid. So when I saw this, I was like, I gotta have it. And actually, I don't know if this is the reverse or obverse, but I just love it. So, I picked it up. It was fun. Definitely an ice cream cone for Yankee. And I don't hate silver.
That's gorgeous, man. I just want to go to the chat real quick and say what they're picking up.
Yeah, let's see it.
Some people are saying nothing. Let's see. New America the Beautiful, American Gold Eagle, quarter-ounce maple gold coins, gold, nothing, platinum, toilet paper for Darren.
Anybody want to trade toilet paper for silver? I got a pile of toilet paper.
Nothing. American Silver Eagles for Alex J. Wow. I hope you're getting those for a good deal. Some 90%ers. Cool. Yeah, looks like people are picking up a wide variety, but I'm seeing a lot of gold. American Gold Eagle, Maple Leafs. Did you pick up more gold Maple Leafs, Yankee? Is that what you're going to show us?
Yeah, I bought a lot of stuff there. Yeah.
You bought a lot of...
I cleaned him out of his gold. So, and then I said, I want more. And he's like, I'll get you more. But I'm closed.
Yeah, of course he's closed. But how many quarter ounce American or Canadian maple leafs did you get? Just 2 or?
Enough, man, not enough.
Not enough. Okay, so the musket isn't complete.
Musket is nowhere near complete. I gotta work. But
right.
I do like silver. I actually picked up another piece of silver, but I'll show that on the video. But I do love silver. Just it's all about gold right now.
Yeah.
Oh, your video was hilarious, dude.
Oh, my copper video?
Copper video yesterday. Oh,
Did
man.
anyone actually laugh out loud on that copper video? Because I spent like 3 hours making
Put
it.
a three in the chat if you actually laughed out loud. Because I'm doing it right now, putting a 3 in because I did. I was like,
It was funny because like I started thinking about making. Oh, okay. I guess people did think it was funny, except for Alex. But I started making it, and then my wife was like, "Oh, why don't you do this? Or why don't you do this? This would be funny." And it just
do it too. Oh, that's great.
yeah, she helped me a lot with ideas. So yeah, it was my April Fool's video. I said I was going all in on copper.
Flat copper. Oh.
But if you haven't seen it, you should watch it because I think it was pretty on point.
Yep.
Anyway, I'll just say I'm not picking up any copper.
Yeah, what you getting, man?
I'm picking up junk silver like crazy. I've gotten, I think, around $100 face in the last week or 2.
Yeah.
So I'll need to make some videos on it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've been picking up tons of junk.
Oh man, Tim told me he actually found bags. So he has quarters, dimes, and halves too. And I'm like, oh.
Are you kidding me?
Oh no, he does. He
13 times face, right?
Did
he go up?
He did a little. So I'm like, nah, I think I'm gonna stick with the gold.
I'll just say I haven't paid over 12.5 yet.
Very good. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and some was under 11.
I know, TB. I know. I owe you, man. I feel so bad. Every time I don't do it, can I just say thank you again? Talking Bullion. This guardhouse box, man, I definitely do need to fill it. He sent me this with some tubes in it. And,
Yeah, in your video, you're like, oh, this is getting delayed for all eternity.
No, I did not say for all eternity. Don't say that.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, John W. Some of it I got for 10.8 face value.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
What's up?
That is fantastic.
All private sales.
For everybody out there, you said a few people. What else did you see out there that people were getting?
Oh, let's see.
I see a 10th gold. Timothy Mack, 10th gold and 10 silver ounces.
Scottsdale delivered tomorrow for silver bullet.
Mm-hmm.
That's very nice.
Lighthawk Demon, a quarter ounce gold eagle. Yes. You know when I bought my gold eagles back in 2009, the Yankee Cannon, I did not know that they weren't 24 karat gold.
Are they? And how much did you pay again? $800?
$1,000 each.
1,000? That's not bad.
No, it was good. But and then I watched it ride up to almost $2,000, and I was like, nope. And then I saw it go back down again. But you know what? That's not why I bought it to flip. So, but yeah, it's like I didn't know. It was not 24 karat, but it is 1 full ounce of pure silver. I did
gold.
Pure gold.
Right. Mudswat, he's talking about the American gold eagles. They're only 22 karat.
Right, 22 karat.
But the Canadian gold bullion is all 24 karat, and they actually have some 5.9s. So Yankee, are you ever going to get a 5.9s maple?
I saw that. Which one is it again?
I think remember. They have them in every size. I know for sure the 1 ounce.
What? Oh, I didn't. Oh, the 1 ounce. Yeah, I didn't think it has it in every size. I don't know. I'll check on it. Yeah.
Well, don't quote me on it. The world record is 7 9s. That was done by Perth Mint. And it was a plate, a gold plate that they made. 7 9s fine. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. How can they do that? The pure.
It's a Perth Mint, dude. I don't know. We're talking about gold, Steven. 5 9s of purity.
Nice. Whew.
So there you go. All right. Well, I think we pretty much. I don't want to go too late because
it's late.
It's getting super late. So
really appreciate all of you guys for sticking with us. 155. That's a great number. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the like.
Wait.
Silver Dragon.
Yankee.
What?
Wait. Are you looking at my screen here?
I'm looking at your screen. Man.
Before we finish out, do you see this? We got another giveaway. No,
No, we don't. Do we?
yeah, we
have
do.
A surprise giveaway?
No. This is scheduled giveaway. People know this. This is the Silver Beginnings giveaway. We basically just skipped over it because we had so much going on. But look, everyone's saying giveaway. Steve Woods said, "See you later." Okay, bye, Steve Woods. You don't get to participate. Yeah. Real quick though,
Silver Bullet wants a fall. All the way.
I'm gonna be honest with the chat. Yankee, maybe you can help me with this.
All right, what is it?
Is this silver?
Can you bring this up on your camera because I'm having a hard time checking it out here. So yeah.
Maybe you could see it now. It's the SP70 enhanced finish. Does anyone know, is this silver or clad? It's a 2017 S Kennedy. First day of issue.
That's
It's a S, so I'm pretty sure it's silver, right? People are saying yes.
S is the San Francisco Mint usually does that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is a graded one here, and it's the enhanced finish. I think these are actually worth a pretty good amount of money. But I'm not sure. So anyway, this is from Silver Beginnings, giving away that, and then the Darth Vader.
Wow.
All right.
I don't have the question here for you. So I got a
question.
All right, go for it, man.
I'm gonna put this sticker in front of it. Everyone, good luck here. I got the answer written on the back of that. And if you've been watching my videos recently, you're gonna know the answer to this. But let me get it typed in. And this will be the last giveaway. Then we're gonna shut it down. All right. We gotta shut her down. Let me get this typed in here. Yankee's trying to show some stuff. Let me go back to...
No.
What are you showing, Yankee?
No, nothing. Just do the giveaway.
I'm trying to do the giveaway, but you're distracting me with all your... There was like a slabbed eagle of some sort.
No. I don't do slabbed eagles.
Come on. I'm trying to type in the question.
Squirrel.
Give him something to look at. Silver Circle says...
You're looking at your $50 there, man.
Help me, Silver Dragons. You're my only hope.
SD, I am your father.
Okay. All right. Well, you're going to have to read this pretty quick and then start answering. So
this is new for me. I don't know what he's going to ask.
Yankee doesn't know what it is, but if you watched my last video, you will know the answer. So here we go. Good luck, everyone. Last giveaway of the night. Oh, yeah. Make sure you're on live chat. Whatever. Let's just do it.
Guesses is...
Well, if you know it, you're going to get it right away. Yep, we got a winner. And you're not gonna believe who it is. So, obviously, 1982.
Oh, boo! Look at that.
Fiat is a beast. We're on live chat.
Destroyer.
He is a destroyer.
Oh, that is awesome, man! Congratulations, Fiat.
Yep. And these other people said stuff before him, but they didn't guess the right answer. And look at all these people that didn't know. Timothy Mack knew it. So there you go. Oh my gosh. What? Enhance reverse proof? What? How much did you pay for that? What, Yankee? What is this? It's the 2019 S. It's the big one.
What do you mean the big one?
I mean, it's the big one.
What are you talking? I can't see it on camera. The camera isn't showing it.
Oh, it's not showing it, huh? It's not showing it.
What? Who just won that giveaway?
Fiat Destroyer. I'm writing them down right now.
Fiat Destroyer.
Congratulations, Fiat Destroyer.
Hi, Fiat Destroyer. Hey, check it out, man.
How much did you pay for that, dude?
Huh? I got this for nothing.
No way.
Yeah.
How is that?
Fiat Destroyer sent it to me.
Dude, that is insane. Fiat, you
right,
are...
Fiat, you sent this to me, right, man?
What are you gonna do with it?
He sent this to me.
He says, Silver Dragon's so confused. Yeah, I don't understand because I know you didn't get one when they came out.
No. Fiat Destroyer sent me a wonderful package, and in that package was this.
Everyone say, give it away, give it away, give it away, give it away now. That's
Vertical's like, crack it open.
Yeah, it's not the 70, so
it's not a PF. No. All right, I'll fess up. If you saw my live stream, you know that yes, Fiat Destroyer did send this along with a wonderful array of gifts for my family. Really cool stuff. But he also sent me some money to send it back to him. He just wanted to rub it in and have me kind of oogle it and hold it in my hands for a little while, but it's not mine.
That is awesome. Fiat, you had me
great.
going there, dude. I was like, did you really
Oh.
send Yankee like $1,000 coin?
He did.
Well, now you can do a video on it, Yankee.
Oh, I just did a live stream. Thank you so much, Fiat. I enjoyed holding it for as long as I did. Oh, but no, I gotta send it back.
Gotta send it back.
You know what was really fun though is to actually find out why this was a PR 69, and I was looking at very carefully. Do you see next to the E, right to the left of the E?
Oh yeah, it's the finish
spot?
is messed up. Yeah, there's a spot.
It's just a little bit of the frosted finish is gone. I searched high and low the entire coin. That is the only flaw I found.
Wow, so it really is a 69. It's not a 70.
It really is. But you know what? You're right. It's ruined. I'll take it.
I'm pretty sure mine is actually a 70. They got it wrong.
He did want me to open it live. He wanted everybody to see me open it and to read what it said because he's like, this is a act of trust for the Yankee.
That's a trust fall right there.
That is a total silver trust fall. But yeah, thank you so much, Fiat. That was fun.
All right. Well, we've given away all the prizes. I think there's nothing to it but to wrap it up. But
let's wrap it.
I want to say to the chat, everyone, thank you so much for being here. I think we almost hit 200 people in the stream, even though we had some technical issues at the start, getting it all launched and everything. I appreciate everyone sticking with it, sticking it out. Do we have any announcements, Yankee?
Well, the Yankee box is in quarantine. No, the Yankee box is still, I believe, in Texas with silver bean counter. Not quite halfway. I hope I get it in the year 2020. What a year to launch that thing, huh? Wow.
Right.
But Silver Bean Counter said he was going to get it. He's feeling better, and so yeah. it's if you haven't jumped in on that boomerang box, definitely check out my channel. Leave a comment on that video. We definitely are going to have an epic giveaway when that gets home.
You know, it might almost be better to call an audible and just have Silver Bean Counter send it to you maybe, and you can like sanitize it or whatever, and then maybe do a second box, like a part 2. You know what I mean?
I know, but others there's so many people just can't wait to get a hold of it. It's a thought. Let me think about it a little bit.
No, I know you got to keep it going, but I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Either way, that box is getting massive.
I know. I can't wait. How about you, man? What's coming up with you? Anything special?
No, I mean I got a video coming out tomorrow about me going to my local coin shops trying to find silver. It's actually pretty funny and almost kind of depressing though. We do have a lot of new people I saw. If you're not subscribed to Yankee Stacking, make sure to do so because in 2 weeks we're doing the same show on his channel.
Yep. Thank you.
We'll have lots more creator showcases and giveaways. I think Yankee has like 10 ounces of silver or something. So there'll be some fun, probably not all 10 ounces, but there'll be some fun giveaways.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And again, thank you to the sponsors, incredible sponsors tonight, really lovely giveaways. If you're interested in being a sponsor of our show and have your channel highlighted right up there in the top right-hand corner and have us show you your channel, it's easy. Email either Silver Dragons or me. Say, I want to be a sponsor. That's all you got to do. We'll work it out.
Perfect. All right. Well,
yes, hit the like button. Thank you, Backwoods Stacker. Definitely. Yeah. Show Silver Dragon some love here.
Yeah, if you don't know how to do it, if you're on your phone, you have to hit the X on the right corner, then hit the thumbs up, then go back to live chat. It's not that hard. Everyone smash that thumbs up. No. All right. Well, let's shut her down then, huh?
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. You did a great job hosting, man.
Thanks so much, Yankee. And thanks again to SD Bullion. And do you want to sign off?
Sure. I hope your day is A-OK, everyone.
All right. Everyone have a good night. Silver Dragons is officially out.